Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm bringing you some more V8 content in the form of a GLC 63 AMG. So what we're going to do, the usual, walk around the car, talk about some of the features about it, hit those roads, and obviously take you for a drive, give you my impressions about this car, and then come back here or wherever and to wrap up. So yeah, let's go and do that right now. AMG GLC 63 guys, this one is finished off in brilliant blue. That is the color of this car. Obviously from the front it just looks like a full-on AMG car. You've got the slatted grille, you've got these kind of air vents around the front as well. It looks completely different to a non AMG car. This is not the S model, this is just the standard GLC 63. You've got these 21-inch alloy wheels. They're wrapped in the Michelin tires, really good tire. Obviously V8 bi-turbo 4MATIC Plus. You've got like a lip spoiler at the top here, and then the rest of it is pretty much like a GLC kind of, you know, business as usual. Obviously you've got all the badges up here, but the main difference is down below here. You've got quad exhaust trims and the diffuser. These are exhaust trims. As you can see, there is only one exhaust on each side, but it's literally there aesthetically, but it makes a real nice sound like all AMGs do. Okay, so first off, this car has got the premium pack on it, or the premium plus pack. Comes with heated memory electric seats, Burmester sound system. Obviously it's got the command system in there, 360 reverse camera. It's got a real nice panoramic glass roof. In an SUV like this, I think having a pan roof is a must, only because the amount of light that it lets into the cabin, because otherwise it's quite dark and dingy in here. Obviously you've got the AMG steering wheel, perforated leather, AMG flat bottom. That's got a real nice feel to it. It doesn't really have much of a stripe at the top here in any other colour, but it is there. So the center console and like the dials, they're not full LCD like, you know, more recent Mercedes Tech Fest interiors. This one is a little bit dated. It does look like, you know, like any other kind of C-Class car, because obviously it's based on that. You have got like the infotainment kind of controls down here, a touchpad, scroll wheel, which obviously controls the screen up there. Being AMG model, you've got the loud exhaust button. You can raise the height of the car. Being an SUV, obviously traction control. It's got the adaptive suspension. You can put the car into manual mode, and obviously got the dynamic drive select button there as well. What I really like though is the feel of these paddles. They're obviously aluminium, they're not plastic, so it really does look quite good, and like the kind of feel of them when you kind of like pulling on these paddles is pretty good. And obviously this car is brand new. It's only done 120 miles. It's not running, but I'm sure on this test drive we will make sure that it gets running. AMG power plant. So this is a 4-litre twin turbo V8. You can see there's the turbos right there. There's one, there's the other one right in the middle of the V, so it literally just forces the air straight into the engine block and you get the power straight away without hardly any lag. Obviously it's an AMG engine. It's obviously handcrafted by this guy. Anyway, he's kind of hand built this engine. This is a 2019 model car, so we're going to see if some of that kind of noise has been diluted, like the way most cars now like obviously get diluted with the new kind of auto filters or the PPF filters. So yeah, we're going to give the car a start up and some revs. Right, so that's in normal sort of comfort mode. What we're going to do now is put the car into dynamic mode, and that's going to open up some valves, so Sport Plus, and then we're going to give it some revs. Guys, I'll let you decide on the sound of this car. I think it sounds pretty good for like the way it is, even though, you know, it's a 2019 model car with like the PPF filters and what have you. I don't think the sound is totally diluted. I have noticed though it is quieter than like say a 2018 car without the PPF filters, because that is just the way it is. AMGs generally, like, they make a lot of noise. This one you can just tell it doesn't have that whole thunderous kind of sound. Right, what we're going to do now is take you on those roads and give it a blast and wrap up somewhere there. So guys, before we go out on those roads, I just want to give a massive shout out to my daughter Mariam.
Hi people, hi kids.
Who's a massive help on my channel. She's, you know, like, does all the editing. She helps me film, she helps me shoot and all of that. So yeah, massive shout out to Mariam for helping me out with this video as well. I think you wanted to say something to me, didn't you?
Yeah.
Go on then.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Daddy. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, that's so sweet. It's my birthday, guys. If you want to wish me a happy birthday, that's up to you. Just drop it down in the comments. And while we're on shout outs, I might as well give a huge shout out to Cy Rose, who's been able to source this car out for me from Mercedes Stourbridge. If you're in the market looking for any Mercedes, whether it's an AMG or whether it's, you know, the sort of run-of-the-mill A-Class, C-Class or whatever it might be, definitely check out Cy Rose on his Instagram, which I'll drop down here. On his, like, you know, Mercedes or Stourbridge details, they're all in the comments below. Massive shout out to Cy. Thanks a lot for sorting this car out for me to do a bid on. Legend of a guy. Car setup at the moment is, it's all literally all in comfort mode. I'm just switching off the auto start stop button, so the exhaust and all of that, it's all literally all quietened down, and it still feels like it's quite loud, you know, like the exhaust and stuff. You can still hear it like rumbling away. Obviously we got the V8 engine up front. It produces, I mean, like I said before, it's not the S model, so this produces something in the region of about 467 horsepower. It's mated to a 9-speed automatic gearbox. The thing is, it's a 9-speed gearbox now. The 8-speed ZF, I mean, even that, it's got 8 gears, and like when you sort of downshifting and upshifting, like you say yourself, you've got 8 gears to get through. Now, you'd never really like go through the whole gears. Well, I don't anyway. I only get through, like, say from, like, say the first one to like about the 5th one, because that's where, you know, you enjoy like these country lanes. With this one, you've got another sort of ratio. I don't know, you know, it's just, for me, it just feels like there's one ratio too much. I know they've done it all for like emissions and stuff like that, and when you are in comfort mode and you're just cruising along, it does kind of slush those gears quite well together, so you're never like in the wrong gear. But you do notice that the car's always like flicking between the gears when you're looking down at the rev gauge. It's always like, you know, 1 minute it's at like, say, 1500 revs, next minute it's at 1200, then it's at 1700. It's always like going up and down those gears, but it does it in a fairly smooth fashion that, you know, it doesn't upset, like, say, the comfort levels of the car. The driving position, steering wheel is on point. I love the feel of this AMG steering wheel because you've got the perforated leather on the sides, you've got the flat bottom. You do sit quite high in this car, so you do get a commanding view of the road ahead, which is quite nice because, you know, you just feel like, you know, you can see pretty much all 4 corners of the car and see every part of the road, and, you know, get that kind of, like I say, commanding driving sort of view. So personally, guys, I'm not really a huge fan of performance oriented SUVs. If it was me, I would rather buy a practical estate, you know, with the performance on tap as well. My reasoning for that is that these SUVs, they do sit quite high off the ground, so that center of gravity is quite high, just generally. So, you know, it's not a car that you'd want to go and attack like country lanes with and stuff. But on the contrary, that's what we're gonna do, and obviously see what this is all about. Right guys, so what I'm going to do now is put the car into its Sports Plus mode, put the gearbox into manual mode. This car is quick. Yep, there's no denying that this is a slow car. Well, it's not really, it's an AMG product, isn't it? So it's very eager. In Sports Plus, like, the throttle response is really sharp. It's literally just like every little touch of it, little prod, you're getting this kind of a jerk. Hope you don't get too sick.
No.
Oh, did you hear that? This thing gets down the road like no man's business. Obviously you got the 4MATIC as well, which literally plays a huge part in this car to propel it. It holds the road quite well. Obviously it's like a near-on 2-ton car, so you are going to feel that kind of body weight rolling around, and obviously the center of gravity is slightly higher, so when you are pushing through these corners you do get a bit of body lean. Let's bend up ahead. Yep. See, that S8 that I was in last week, that took that S-bend really well. You know, it was literally very compliant. This does feel like a bolt compared to that, and that was like a much bigger car compared to this, but it's not like it's going to fall over or anything. It's just, you do feel that kind of flex in the body and like the way it just is. I mean, this has got the adaptive suspension, and currently I've got it in the Sport Plus AMG suspension setup as well, so it is quite firm, but you do feel that kind of flex. Just gonna drop it a cog, and again. Yep. It's a very eager car to like literally just plow through. When you are literally, just back then, when you are literally just like pushing it on, I have just noticed that it just tries to run a little bit like out the way, like just runs a bit wide. I mean, the car has just only got 131 miles on the clock, so the tyres are probably not hugely scrubbed in either, so one gripe that I have with this car, from behind the wheel that is that the gear shift is still based on the column rather than down, like say in the center console down here. That's fine in like say your regular, say like other Mercs and what have you, it's, you know, you can get away with it. But definitely on a high performance car like this, you really do want it to be down here, because it just gives you that more of a sporty feel. You know, you want to have that gear stick where you can like drop it down, you know, into manual mode and flick it, because these paddles, even though they got a real good feeling and like they're obviously aluminium and what have you, when you are halfway through a bend and you want to change a gear, it's a bit awkward to know which one's the up paddle and which one's the down. So it's just the way, well, I feel anyway. It is a quick car. I mean, 0 to 60 in this is probably something like 4 seconds or something. All these numbers that we go on about 0 to 60 and what have you, they're irrelevant if the car doesn't feel quick. I mean, this thing in gear shove, it's mega. You know, it's like just, it literally just like throws you. That power on tap, it's really apparent. And then you get that sort of rumble of like the V8 and the exhaust. Yeah, it is an engaging drive, I've got to say that. You know, for the type of car that it is, you know, like a small SUV, it is quite an engaging drive. It's not like it's like boring or dull or whatever. It is an engaging drive. I mean, it's AMG product at the end of the day. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed this vid. Give it a like, a share, and subscribe to my channel for more V8 content, I guess. There will be some more V8s on the channel soon as well. I will be doing some Mercs and BMs and Audis as well, so don't worry, I'll try and cover off as much of the German marques as possible. Don't forget to check me out on my Instagram, which will be down here. And also guys, definitely check out my mate Cy Rose from Mercedes of Stourbridge. So hopefully guys, I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.